Yes, we go live. Good luck, dear.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Virginia Rivera, and I am a core team member with International Internship University. I am so excited to be here with you today with one of my favorite topics. Today, we'll be talking about bridging the digital gender gap. Before that, I would like to tell you a little bit about what we do and what makes us so special here at IIU. At International Internship University, we truly believe that everyone deserves to learn. This is an access for all education. We're in more than 195 countries. We have more than 1,000 resources and professors, and we have around 5,000 e-learners all around the world. Actually, we know that every day we continue to grow. We are a different university. We are a digital and virtual university. What that means is that no matter what corner of the world you're at, you will be able to use and to take, but most importantly, to participate in what we know that is world-class education. Our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, had a dream, and his dream was to have education access for all. He's not only a social activist, he's not just an author, he is just not a serial entrepreneur. He truly believes in the beauty of the world that can be. He wants to make sure that education is the key so that everyone can reach the goals that they have, but most importantly, they can contribute to their countries. We have a beautiful team of very committed professionals. We have a beautiful team of very committed educationists. We have a beautiful team of people that truly believe that everyone that has a dream has the right to learn. So here at International Internship University, we believe that hands-on, skill-driven curriculums are the new way to actually learn. We truly believe that we become the change. We are that change, and we want to transform education for all. So I want to thank you. Not only that you're sitting down, you're really trusting that this is an opportunity for you to learn, but you are sharing with us your energy. And most importantly, your ideas of really making this a better world. Like I said before, my name is Virginia Rivera. I live in a sunny little island in the Caribbean called Puerto Rico. And I became enamored with the concept of IIU when I visited India. I couldn't believe that something existed, and I wanted to be part of this revolution. So I invite you to join us today, and we're going to be exploring how to bridge a very important gap when it comes to gender digital divide. Let me go ahead and find my presentation, and we'll continue. So bridging the gender digital divide. Sometimes we may think, and if you've seen me before, you know that usually my topics are female empowerment or education for women. But the truth is that we really, really believe that everyone has the opportunity to succeed in life. So today we'll be discussing how gender affects access to the internet, to Wi-Fi, to digital. Let me go ahead and start. Only 69% of men use the internet around the world, but that number is even smaller for women. They're at 63%. This 6% difference means 259 million fewer women than men can read this article that we're discussing today. While the digital gender divide is much wider in low-income countries, and when we say low income, we mean they're emerging countries. They're countries that are blossoming at this moment. Advancing digital gender is in everyone's shared interest, but it can only be achieved by closing the growing digital gender gap. This refers to the gender disparity in women and girls' connectivity to digital infrastructure. And this is nothing else than Wi-Fi. If you have a device and you have Wi-Fi, then you can go ahead and connect. But if you don't have Wi-Fi and you don't have a device, then you do not have connectivity. When women don't have connectivity to a digital infrastructure and they don't have the digital skills and the use of these digital tools, participation in science, technology, engineering, math, which are the STEM fields, and technical leadership and entrepreneurship will suffer. This is why it is so important for women to be able to connect to the internet. What is digital gender divide and how can we fix it? Digital inclusion has become an increasingly important part of everyday life, needed for success in both the classroom as well as the world of work, and in some contexts, increasingly important for accessing services. In the United States and in many other countries, you no longer visit an office. You now make sure to log in, have an account, and do all your business digitally. So if you don't have this, then you're really not participating in the world that we have today. A majority of youth in low and middle income countries, again, these are emerging countries, are not connected to the internet. They have limited digital skills and do not own a mobile phone. When we talk about mobile phones, we're talking about phones like this that will actually be intelligent phones. This is a computer. This here is a device that you can use to do anything. Adolescent girls and young women are especially disadvantaged. Evidence shows that 9 out of 10 adolescent girls around the world are offline, and that is unacceptable. So, what is the digital divide? From social media and e-commerce to artificial intelligence, technology is transforming how we work, how we communicate, and how we live our lives. Yet, as technology races ahead, women and girls, especially those from developing countries and vulnerable communities in Asia and Pacific, continue to be left behind. Women are underrepresented in tech industry everywhere. Despite making up 1/3 of the workforce in the world's 20 largest technology companies, women only hold 1 in 4 leadership positions. Similarly, at the foundation level, girls and women make up just 1/3 of students in science, technology, and engineering and mathematics globally. So this is really, really important. If we want to make sure that going towards 2030 with the United Nations and their SDG, we want to make sure that women have the same opportunities as men to get ahead. Nonetheless, women are still very, very much behind. Unconscious gender bias in the design and development of new digital products and services is further perpetuating gender inequality. Yet many women are also taking the lead in harnessing this technology to address these inequalities. So it's not that we're just staying there, with our arms crossed. We are actually doing something about it. So you will see women as leaders in tech, but you won't see that many. And the majority of this is because we have so many that are not digital. Yes, they're not connected to the grid, and we need to do that. Centuries of patriarchy, discrimination, and harmful stereotypes have created a huge digital gender divide. Across Asia and the Pacific alone, 54% of women have digital access. The other 46 do not. So we're talking about half of the women in the world do not have access to the way we're living today. Women and girls are less likely than men and boys to use the internet or own a smartphone. Gender-based violence, both offline and increasingly online these days, are additional barriers. So, what are the benefits of being digitally empowered? So, when you have Wi-Fi, when you have a device, you become empowered to use the benefits of going digital. Digital literacy has become almost as important as traditional literacy. So you need to know, just like reading and writing, you need to also know how to access all the digital channels that are available. Over 90% of the jobs worldwide today already have a digital component, and most jobs will still require sophisticated digital skills. If government equips girls with digital skills through prioritizing education in ICT subjects, They will help girls thrive in economies where routine work has been automated and digital skills are prized. So it's been told again and again that the jobs that women normally do will be substituted by AI, robots, and machines. So what this means is that girls need to start now to be connected and educated when it comes to the digital world. 90% of the jobs today have a digital component. 100% of the jobs in 2030 will have a digital component. So it is very important that we realize that it is key us to integrate girls and women. IIU, or International Internship University, believes in female empowerment. They believe in full leadership women in the world. This is the reason why we have these courses. We want to make sure that you understand that in order for us to have a sustainable world for all, we need to have women's participation just as strong as men's. This is in order for us to survive in the world that we live in today. Technology can also be a powerful tool for girls to become activists and lead change on issues that affect them. Social media platforms, for instance, allow activists to reach a wide audience and organize action toward common causes. So what is the impact of the gender digital divide? How is it hurting us? Without equal access to technology and the internet, girls and women are not able to equally participate in our ever more digital societies. Holding back the girls and women in this area affects all of us, including their ability to speak out and to actually talk about the issues that affect them. Moreover, if girls and women are not involved in creating digital tools and online content, they may exacerbate existing inequalities. What does this mean? It means that instead of narrowing our gender gap, it's going to widen. We know right now that when it comes to equal pay, men are here and women are still here. When it comes to human rights, men are here and women are still here. So if we don't really make our girls available to these digital tools, we will continue to exacerbate and make these inequalities even worse. The gender technology gap also negatively impacts countries' potential for economic growth and development. So it doesn't only affect women. This affects all of us, including the economies in our country. If 600 million more women are connected to the internet in the next 3 years, this will translate to a rise in our global GDP of between 13 billion to 18 billion US dollars. So, like I said before, it's just good business. It's a bright idea. It's the smart idea to make sure that women have access to digital tools. The biggest barrier to technology and innovation is access. When women and girls are not able to access spaces that concern them, affect their lives, and is also used to target them, then we are sidelining a majority of voices in defining that space and making it safe for them. Again, the internet is not safe for women because we're not participating fully. Cyberbullying, sexual cyber exposure, all this exists because we are not still connected to our digital tools. We must also dismantle any barriers that exist in the form of discrimination and violence when they are in the space to really allow them to freedom to create, innovate, and upskill. This is what we need. We need to make sure that every little girl that goes to school has access to a computer or to a smartphone. Every little girl has access to this from the very beginning, from the start of her life. We want to make sure that she can create, she can innovate, and she can upskill, learn more in the system itself. So these are data literacy skills. Then how does it really help us to be literate when it comes to digital tools. Number one, it helps us think critically about information yielded by data analysis. The majority of data today is online. If we can't access this, then we won't be able to think critically. Understanding data analytic tools are only digital. It's what it allows us to measure things, recognizing when data is misrepresented. If we know and we have data literacy skills, we will recognize when something does not make sense. Communication. We'll be able to reach a larger audience if we know and we can recognize data. Knowing how to see data and interpreting it is very important. And then this loop starts again. It helps us think critically. And we need people that think critically. So how do we bridge the digital divide? How do we really bring women to the forefront? We start with them as girls, but we don't forget the women that already are. So we can't forget about adult women. We can't forget about young learners or young teen learners. We need to make sure that we're including every woman in this digital education. We need to make sure that our daughters, our neighbors, our granddaughters have access to the internet and to a digital device that they can learn from. Digital solutions can bring positive change and opportunities for all of us. Yet, even with the best intentions, a solution is likely to exclude certain people. We know that has happened. So, to leave no one behind, it's vital to understand what barriers exist to accessing digital solutions. So, we can't just say, oh, we're just going to give everybody a smartphone, because we don't know if there's internet in these communities. If there's internet in the schools, we don't know that. So we need to make sure that we understand what the barriers are. We need to understand who is affected by the digital divide. What communities? What areas? Is it the rural area? It is a slum area. It is a ghetto area. It is high area. We need to really understand where we're at in order to really help. The following groups are more likely to be excluded from being digitally, associated and connected. Women, number one, children, as they're learning in school, the elderly. That's why we can't forget about people that have already been educated. We need to really teach them so they can also learn. Demobilized military, people with disabilities, migrants, refugees, stateless people, informal sectors, indigenous people, and different people from the LLQ community, ethnic, caste, and religious minorities, unattached youths, and rural residents. All of these can be groups of people that do not have the opportunity to be connected digitally. So how do we bridge this digital divide? The digital divide is not just a social political problem. It is deep, deep rooted that can be eliminated when social, economic, and political forces work together. So like I said, we're not going to be able to do this just us girls. We need everybody. We need everybody to realize that it takes so much more than just giving you internet or just giving you a phone. It takes all of our help to really make this happen. So let's look at some immediate actions that we can do or we can ask for in order to start removing technological discrimination around the world. So how do we bridge the gender gap? Number one, we design gender responsive digital policy. We design gender responsive digital policy. Contributors called for policymakers in the digital field. So policymakers is government. All those political figures that you vote for, all those political people that you listen to when they're doing their political campaign, you need to make sure that they're really considering designing gender responsive digital policy. So we need to make sure these policymakers are in the digital field to pay attention to the unique needs of women and girls, valuing their perspective and experiences, and intentionally considering them when designing, implementing, and measuring programs. It's not just enough that you make a one for all. You need to really make sure that you are addressing girls and women's needs. You need to promote access to technology and skills. Lack of access to technology was identified as one of the major challenges for women to fully benefit from the digital transformation. Here at IIU, we are a virtual digital university. We exist in this platform. We exist in this infrastructure. If our girls and women do not have access to the tools, they will never be able to participate in this wonderful program, in this wonderful new model of education. This is revolution. This is a transformation in education, but we need to make sure that we make everyone accessible. And that starts with girls. That starts with young girls. That starts with young teenagers. That starts with young educationists. It starts with people that have already learned and need to go back to the drawing table and learn again. We cannot continue to discriminate. We need to integrate so everyone can really contribute to the world that we live in. Challenge gender preconceptions and cultural norms. I think this is probably the big one. Girls are not smart. Girls should not think too much. Girls are only meant for marriage. Girls are only meant to take care of. Girls are only meant to clean. Girls are meant to work hard. Girls are meant to take care of their in-laws. You know what? There's so much that we think about women. But the one thing that we really need you to think about for women is for them to contribute their intelligence and their talent to the world. And we're not doing that. So we need to change the way we think about women. We cannot put a value in women. We can not only allow girls to have access to funds and education and money to be the ones educated. We need to make sure that every little girl can dream and every little girl can one day join International Internship University. Dispelling gender stereotypes and cultural norms that hold girls back is critical, and making sure that she is safe when she's in the digital space. So what do we need you to do? We need to mentor these girls. We need to create awareness that they are so important to this. We need to make sure that their families understand that these little girls are more than cleaners, more than future brides, more than future wives, and more than future mothers. These girls are the future of the world. And we need to make sure that they have every single tool. But if you're a woman and you're in a leadership position, this is a great opportunity to be a mentor, or go talk to a parent and let them know how much their little girl will contribute to the world if they allow it. So this is very, very important. Number 4, fight cyber violence against women and girls. How many times have we joined and all we see is porn, more porn? We only think of women as sexual objects. That is what we see women doing online. We need to stop this. We need to stop men that think that recording and taking pictures of women and selling it online is okay. We need to stop this. We need to stop online prostitution. It's in our hands. If we see that our husbands, our brothers are doing this, we need to call them out and let them know that this is not acceptable, because this is cyber violence against women. Online violence affects women and girls disproportionately, causing psychological harm and deterring them from participating in digital spaces. In response, several good practices to protect the rights of women and girls were identified, including online harassment reporting, abuse policies, moderation tools, and content takedown procedures. I'm going to tell you something. We cannot believe what people say online about women. We need to take away the power of the people that talk badly or write bad things about women online. We need to stop this behavior. When you see something or a rumor or gossip of somebody, ignore it. If you don't know it and you didn't hear it from the person, do not engage. These people will stop doing what they do if nobody engages. Engagement is the name of the game when it comes to digital space. If they lack engagement, they will no longer do this. So let's stop perpetrating violence against women when it comes to the digital space. Also, use local languages in online learning materials. It can't just be English. If you know that you're going to be teaching people that speak Hindi, let's make sure that the online learning materials are in their language. Why would we only do it in a language that they're not very proficient in? It just takes a little bit more work, but we should do it. Online learning resource creators should focus on including local languages in their programs. According to the World Bank research, people feel more connected to content when they read it in their own language. Moreover, many people are not fluent in the English language. So we need to make sure that we get it. We do not only speak English in the world. It may be called a universal language, but if you have access to really create content in a local language, let's do it, even if it's part of the content. But let people know that we consider them, and let's have them get engaged and realize what they can do. Bring more women into the technology sector. A strong emphasis was given to the importance of bringing more women into the technology sector. As a first step, encouraging them to study science, technology, engineering, and math. But I have to tell you, all these affected any area. So just promote and support the girls in your life, the women in your life that want to get ahead and want to be part of the digital space. This is your opportunity to really help us grow. Organizations must attempt to improve the culture and policies of technology. We need to do it. It's our responsibility. We can't leave everything to the government. We also have to take part. Advocating for diversity in the workplace, supporting policies that encourage work-life balance, and tackling concerns such as wage parity and discrimination are examples of this. We want to bring this too when it comes to the digital space. All women should have access to education. All women, not just some. So you know what? We need more women in STEM. We need more women in the digital space. We need more women involved in technology, and it starts with little girls. But it also starts with your mother. It starts with your nephew, with your niece. It starts with your best friend, the ones that say, I don't want to do that. We're so much more than social media. Being in the digital space means really connecting to the world that's coming, really connecting to the future. And let me tell you, it's not far away. The future is now. This is your moment to really realize that you are part of the solution to bridge this gap. You are part of the solution to really help other women. You're part of the solution to mentor women so they can learn how to be part of a connected world digitally. The more connected we are, the smaller the world. The more connected we are, globalization is at our fingertips. The more connected we are, International Internship University will be able to serve more people, more women and girls, more men and boys will have access to quality education all the time. Thank you all for being here. And I really hope that we will have other opportunities to really explore what bridging the gap is. To me, it's really, really key to continue to give women tools so they can be major stars in the world that we live in. We know that women are half of the population, but they're also they're the mothers of the other half. We need to make sure that women have the equal rights that they deserve so they can actually be economically empowered. If we have a world where everyone is economically empowered, we have a better world for all. And part of this economic empowerment is being digital, is having access. So I invite you to be part of this incredible team at IIU that truly believes that quality education should be accessible for all. I want to thank Mr. Piyush Pandit for really having the vision, but most importantly, to putting action after the vision. Every single day, I know that this visionary is creating new programs, new inventions to really bring education to the forefront and making sure that everybody can use it. The team that we have here at IIU is hard none. We are surrounded by such amazing professionals that truly believe that making this education accessible to all is key to having a sustainable world for all. So I want to thank you for being here today. I hope that this really helped you realize that if we bridge the gender digital divide, we will have a better world, not just for women, all of us. So thank you again for being here with us at International Internship University. This is Virginia Rivera. I am talking to you from Puerto Rico. and I am a female empowerment mentor, coach, and a business coach. I do hope to see you, in a port and around the world, because that is what I do every single day. I want to make sure that you and I can connect digitally at any time. Have a great day.